We start with this breakfast table with these shirtless men walking by. So I just want to allow Petra Fried a moment to enjoy them.
Thank you. Thank you. You're good to me, Victor. You're good to me.
Look at her eyeshadow. Oh,
Baby garage doors.
garage doors.
It looks like a gardening look, but she's also going to a party. I'm not sure what she's
Clam
wearing here,
diggers with a turtleneck. Well, we get a flashback. They use Gloria Stewart.
which is such a poor choice.
Are you saying because it takes you
because
out
it
because it looks like
because you're like,
70-year-old
why
Gloria
is
Stewart?
70-year-old Gloria Stewart in this flashback? For God's sakes, tape back the brows,
Yeah.
give me a lift or something.
Give me a lift.
For 30 years, this house has haunted me.
Tonight on Murder, She Wrote. I've been looking into a murder that was committed with a 38 here 30 years ago. So now we have another.
Yes.
Hmm.
And the days dwindle down.
A little misleading there. This house has
To
haunted
a
me.
precious few. September, November. Sorry. Oh, hey, I'm Viktor Devonne,
I'm petrified.
and this
This
is
is
Tonight
tonight on
on Murder, She
Murder, She
Wrote.
Wrote. Ugh.
So this is season 3, episode 21, The Days Dwindle Down. And the reason I was singing is because that title comes from song lyrics. September Song,
Yes.
which is
September, November. Yes.
if you would like to explore it, audience at home, my encouragement is to check out the Eartha Kitt version because it is glorious.
Oh,
So good.
fabulous recommendation. I
All
still
right,
haven't watched
folks.
that. You sent me that link so long ago of the Eartha Kitt performance.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't watched it.
Well, you should.
What the hell's wrong with me?
What is
For
wrong with
anybody who
you?
doesn't know, Victor is part of my cultural education, sends me cool shit all the time, and I just have
Well,
to do it all.
thank you. I'm an old man, and so a lot of the things that I enjoy in life come from a very specific purview, and I do love me some Eartha Kitt tremendously, tremendously. This is an episode for, the theater fags to enjoy because this is old Hollywood richness right here.
Chock full of it, right?
We have fucking June Havoc,
June Havoc.
everybody. Baby June.
She's
If there
incredible.
was an episode to discuss Gypsy at length, Richard Beymer from West Side Story and Twin Peaks, if you're familiar. Art Hindle, Jeffrey Lynn, Harry Morgan from Dragnet.
It's a
It's
lot of major players
Gloria
here.
Stewart from Titanic.
Gloria Stewart, wild, right? And she looks just as old here as she did in that movie.
It's been 84 years. Yeah. So this is so as I've said all season long. Season 3 is weird.
It
It
is weird.
is making
Big
a lot
swings
of
everywhere.
everywhere.
This is a huge swing.
But first, we start with this breakfast table with these shirtless men walking by. So I just want to allow Petra Fried a moment to enjoy them.
Thank you. Thank you. You're good to me, Victor. You're good to me.
We're at this hotel. Where are we? Do we know what state we're in?
I don't think it's ever identified.
It's
It's
not
just
Cabot Cove.
described as a luxury hotel. She is out of town.
Um,
She's on some sort of publishing gig, right? Some sort of book tour or publishing gig, and she's
yeah.
staying at this hotel. My
It's an
favorite,
easy
like,
way to get her places very
yeah,
frequently.
yeah, because she
Um,
doesn't
all
know
of this
anybody here.
is all of this is Burbank and
Yeah.
Universal City and Pasadena. So,
Also,
and
look at
that
this
that sort of lends
beautiful red
itself.
blazer, and this sort of
I do like her in
creamy
red.
red blouse. Ugh, she looks
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
I love
Um,
her travel gear.
so she's having this breakfast and she's talking about how she's going on talk shows and how she's a mystery writer, and it's overheard by this older woman who is sort of like the hostess, sort of
Maybe
walks
like
around and
general
makes sure,
manager of the restaurant, something like that.
but clearly only has so much authority because she is scolded by somebody higher up for listening, for eavesdropping and
Well, she's like
not doing
arranging
work.
flowers, and he's like, You let the florist handle that. This fag. I love
It's so
him.
yes. He gives her mangoes later, doesn't he?
Lots of fruit. And when
Lots
she
of
says,
fruit.
"Can you donate it to the poor?" and he's like, "What?
Charity.
Donate charity?"
Uh, so our older woman, our eavesdropper, is Martha Scott, and she is playing Georgia Wilson. And she
Yes.
is just sweet and stressed the fuck out.
This poor thing. I
She
mean, we
just
right
is,
away we love her, right? And we want to hold her and make everything better for her. She is on edge. She's at a tipping point, and she shows up at Jessica's room, which is, ooh, that's a huge no-no if you work in a hotel,
yeah.
right?
You only go when summoned.
This is like releasing the footage of Solange and Beyonce in the elevator, right? This is a
Yes.
this is a bad thing. You don't do this if you want to keep your job.
Oh dear. So she comes into
He
this
deserved it. He deserved it.
this hotel room. The pastels, Debbie, like,
Wow.
it is a lot of contrasting colors and patterns.
It's
It
a
is a
moment.
bunch, like, and all of them I remember as like Dixie Cup colors.
This is like a Taco Bell cup, yeah,
Yeah,
from
it's
1996.
so Mrs. Wilson is sharing with Jessica that 30 some years ago there was a death and her husband was blamed for it. So he went to jail for murder,
For
of
30
killing
years or so, right? Wow.
his boss, right?
Yeah.
And these are people. So how old do you think Mrs. Wilson is?
I
70,
would
80,
I would pick her at like 75.
75?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good 75, but
Yeah.
it's probably 75.
She's vital, active, but she's an older lady.
Yeah. Let me see actually. So Martha Scott, she died in 2003. So she was born in 1912. So not that all characters are
Wow.
the same age, but if this was 1988, 1912 would make her 76.
Yeah.
So she's
We
probably playing contemporary 76.
come on, nail on the head.
Yeah.
And when we get the flashback sequences, we see that those people are already in their 40s, so it makes sense that they would be in their
I
40s.
mean, yeah, I
Don't you
guess they're
think?
in their 40s. Yeah, it's hard to be sure because people of that era,
Yeah. They always
like
look older.
Lucille Ball was 41 when she had her child,
Yeah.
which means that in season one of I Love Lucy, she's 40. And Lucy Ricardo is like 32.
Yeah. Who is
So, and
that
one of the,
girl?
yeah, I was already middle-aged. So it's hard to be sure sometimes
Right,
with
right.
coloring, and also let's not say anything about the, like the mercury in film, like that color, like the color grades really hide
Sure,
a multitude of sins.
sure. It is
Now it's
interesting.
funny you
Although,
mention,
go
yeah.
on.
No, I
Well, I
was
was
gonna
going
say
to
it's
say
funny you mention. Go ahead.
one of my superpowers as a human being is pegging someone's age. Like, regardless of what
Mm,
they look like, I always have a weird sense of how old people are. I also always can sort of like tell the time if I've
mm,
if I've been in like a long afternoon or something and there's no clocks or anything and someone says, "What time is it?" I always seem to know. Those are
interesting.
my neurospicy superpowers.
Interesting. I'm really bad at age. And I've said this, I think, probably on one pod or another. Growing up as a 18-year-old in Rocky Horror, where the age group fluctuated between 17
Oh,
and 35,
yeah,
it's interesting looking back and thinking that that could be viewed as salacious or complicated of a bunch
right.
of 30-year-olds hanging out with 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds.
Hmm.
It was sort of a non-issue, really. So
Yeah.
I'm not, I mean,
Well, think
there
about
was
like
some
community
dating,
theater.
but
That happens there.
it does, but we're in a very edgy, not edgy, I don't know, uncomfortable position when it comes to age
Monitored.
gaps right now.
Everybody is really
Yeah. We're really uncomfortable when it comes to age
cognizant
gaps.
and they like to call it out. Like if I hear, granted, I laugh sometimes. If I hear one more Leonardo DiCaprio joke,
Yeah. I mean, I'll say when it comes to under the age of 25, I'm not judging per se, but I'm kind of judging. I'm
But it's a
kind
little
of
bit
like,
like, what are you doing there?
yeah,
What are
all
you getting out
right.
of this?
What
Why
do you
don't you tell
what you
us?
doing? And I think, and I am of the opinion that there is a difference between sex and relationships.
Absolutely.
And I'll leave it at that for right now. And I also believe that gay people have a different perspective because I think gay people have a lot of arrested development, and that's another
Oh,
discussion.
absolutely. I mean, when I was 19, I remember dating a 38-year-old and it being a really nice relationship with a really cool person who I still think of fondly.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was 19, and what's his name was 36. Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. There you go.
And I've said like it would have been grooming if he had actually paid attention. If he was more committed to the cause, it would have been grooming.
Right.
Um, so the reason that it's interesting that you mentioned flashbacks is because this episode not only indulges in flashbacks, which we've done on this show.
Hmm.
Almost every episode has at least
Right.
flashback of the murder sequence or the events leading up to the murder at the end to give us some kind of context.
Hmm.
The jury episode almost told completely in flashbacks after
Right.
the development point, which is interesting because a lot of those flashbacks are presented as discussion of the jury. So are
Right.
they accurate flashbacks or are they what they're assuming? I don't know. We
Hmm.
probably talked about it then. We probably talked about it
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Um, Here, the flashbacks are actually from a film from 1949 called Strange Bargain. No, you have never heard of it unless you've seen this episode of Murder She Wrote. It's bonkers.
It's bonkers. I mean, I don't know the background of this episode, how it was written or conceived, but it feels like it must have been like, oh, we have this property. We can do something with this. How do we use this to create an episode of TV, right?
Yeah. And
Because you can
three
watch
of
it
the
and think,
five leads are still alive. So let's
yeah,
work with that. Yeah.
how wild is that? Like, what a
Unbelievable.
beautiful
Wild.
confluence of like events that leads to, I mean, I'm thinking of things like Before Sunrise, Before Midnight, before that Ethan Hawke. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Um, who 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 wrote that movie? Linklater? Is it Richard
Art
Linklater?
Linkletter?
No, Richard Linklater and the Before
Oh.
Sunset, Before Sunrise, Before Moonlight series that follows Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke. And they've
Uh,
created that movie over decades at this point, right? Telling different perspectives of these stories' lives. Or even something like Boyhood, which is also Richard Linklater, that was filmed like a scene per year for a series of what was
mhm.
it like? I don't remember, 15 years or something like
Something
that.
like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love the
Well,
idea
they're
that
doing
art
that
doesn't
with
have to be finished and packaged. In fact, you can find ways to keep telling stories.
they're doing what? Merrily We Roll Along, I think in that
Hmm.
context. Is that about the songwriters?
Oh, tell me
They're
more.
making, yeah, I know, I have to find it. They're filming it. So Merrily We Roll Along, if that is in fact the one that I'm remembering correctly. Nope, that's from 1981. Hang on. Uh,
Oh, because it spans 3 decades. That's right. We see.
yes. So
That's
they're
right.
doing
Yeah.
it. And in fact, they actually already had to recast it because one of
Oof.
the actors became complicated. So yeah, Ben
Mm.
Platt is going to be in it. Beanie Feldstein
Uh-huh.
and Paul Mescal, who was hired and fired. Da, 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 da. Jason Blue. No, he's the. Where's
Well, the more people you
this?
involve, the more
I
more
know
likely
it gets
those
and the longer you wait,
rotten circumstances come around. Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be filmed every few years to reflect the character's age over 20 years, similar to how Boyhood, also written and directed by Linklater, was
Yeah.
shot over 12 years. So yeah, so that isn't coming out until, oh God, 2030 maybe,
Way down the
something like.
line. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They had to reshoot a bunch of things, so they didn't quite get what they wanted.
Yeah.
because they needed to remove somebody. But it happens. It
Yeah.
happens. And that's such a like we see this with films. I mean, it's persona non grata right now, but Harry Potter, when Richard Harris died, that
Sure.
changed the trajectory of how that film was done because they had an iconic character they
Hmm.
suddenly needed to recast two films in
Two films
when they
in,
were
and
doing,
with a major, major role in the
yeah,
coming
and
stories.
a
Yeah. So,
completely different characterization.
yeah. Yeah.
They really adjusted things there with Michael Gambon.
Yeah. We fight in my
Just
family still about about that casting choice and decisions. I'm a
I get
Gambit
it.
stan personally. I
I
think he's
like I like him in it too.
delightful. Yeah.
I thought Richard Harris looked like an animatronic in those films.
I thought he looked
Um,
too much like Gandalf in the animated Lord of the Rings series.
yeah, it's a little
Wasn't
too on the
distinct
nose,
enough.
wizardy.
Yeah,
Little
exactly.
too. I
Yeah.
mean, it all sort of doesn't matter because
Yeah.
fuck those people.
We
But
don't watch that anymore.
yeah. So Strange Bargain.
Anyway.
We'll learn actually about the characters through these flashbacks.
Hmm.
But yes, in fact, this actress, Martha Scott,
Martha
Georgia
Scott.
Wilson, Martha Scott, Jeffrey Lynn, and Harry Morgan are all in this episode
It's so cool.
playing the same roles. So it's a sequel, essentially, to Strange Bargain. However,
Hmm.
not having seen Strange Bargain, I don't know how it ends. So not only is this a sequel, it is technically a revisioning
It's a
because they
rewritten
need
property. Yeah.
to give it a different button. They need
Well,
to end
and
it.
you said
Bargain.
Strange Bargain. And Strange Bargain was not a
It was
success,
not a
was
hit.
it?
It was not a hit.
Well,
There
and
are no famous
frankly,
people in it.
what a great way to take something that was a dud and reuse it
Yeah,
many years later to create something more interesting.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's the way to do a revision or an update of something, right? Take something that's rotten and make
Right,
it cool.
right.
Twist a detail and give yourself a completely new product.
It would have been completely different if they had done like Casablanca. Like it wouldn't have made any
Oh, you
sense.
can't do that.
It wouldn't
No.
have made any sense. We see
No.
this already. Like there's an episode where she talks about the JFK assassination. I'm like, let's not. Like, let's not. Why the fuck do we need to do
Let's
that?
not
Like,
go there. We
it's
all
just
know
not
what happened.
necessary.
Let's just move
Well, we
on.
don't, but we don't, and that's kind of the point. But it's
Uh,
all sort of yeah. Like when you do heavy hitters like that, you kind of have to do it really, really creatively.
yeah, it's true.
Otherwise, it's just sort of like, oh, it's the yeah. So Martha, no, sorry, not Martha. Georgia goes to
Georgia.
Jessica and says, "Can you make my husband Sam feel better?" Basically, because he's back and he's so despondent lately,
He's just,
having been
it's
back from
very
30
sad.
years.
It's
It
very, she said
is.
he just sits there waiting to die. How
Mm-hmm.
terrible. It's
Mm-hmm.
funny you mentioned Lucille Ball earlier. You know what happened to her family when she was very young. Their patriarch and grandfather, who was quite a family man and community man, he accidentally, because of an accident in the yard, shot a neighborhood child who was then paralyzed and then died several years later. And as a result, he just sort of sat around and, as she described it, waited to die.
Mm.
So sad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, being responsible for somebody else his death is
Totally.
is one thing. Here,
Yeah.
he went to jail, so he has whatever trauma came with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you
Uh,
imagine 30 years? I mean, it happens today still.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he therefore was separated from his wife and his child, who is now an adult, and went
Hmm.
into law enforcement, which is an interesting development. I think probably happens a lot. Um,
Sort
People
of
who are involved in it's the same reason like when somebody dies and they become a doctor. Like it's a
right.
similar
Right.
path.
It's almost like
Um,
a karmic incarnation of the next
yeah,
generation, right? Yeah. So it tracks.
it tracks.
Yeah. But you're right. Georgia has brought in Jessica to essentially hear this story. And when she gets there, she's met with a lot of resistance by the family because reporters and people have been there before and no one ever was able to give them any solace or relief or catharsis for this terrible thing that happened to their family. But of course, we know
Mhm.
Jessica is special. She's gonna figure this
Well,
shit out.
I mean, Jordan's facilitating this.
Yeah,
She wants her husband exonerated. To
yeah.
her, that is the only way that will make him happy again.
She just wants to live
Um,
the rest of their lives happy as they can be,
yeah.
right?
And
It's
she
so
doesn't see that
sad.
happening without. So we get
Yeah.
this flashback, which is direct footage from the film Strange
Hmm.
Bargain. And we learn that the Wilsons are struggling financially and that Sam should go to his boss for a raise. He is
Hmm.
then fired. Well, if there's any indication to not
That didn't turn out like we'd hoped.
and his boss, Jarvis, um, who is not in this episode for reasons that we'll
Right,
explain in just a minute,
right.
um, says so the firm is failing. I know you're broke. Guess who's also broke? All of us.
All of us.
Like
Me
this is
personally, too. He says, I have no money.
yeah.
I have
And
nothing.
he
Well, because there's a takeover happening, right? There's a takeover
mhm,
from another company, and I can't remember the other company's name. Davis, Hearn, something like that. Anyway,
that
this
sound
other
yeah.
company is taking over, and they're essentially it's a hostile takeover, and they're driving these people out, and they don't have any resources to put back into the business to save it for themselves. I don't know a lot about the business arrangements, things like that, but that's what I
Again,
gathered.
it's sort of it's they do it sort of in passing just enough to give us context where we're like, that
Yeah,
sounds right.
yeah. Oh, that's why you're broke. Great.
Yeah.
I believe it. No
And the only thing
questions.
that's left is $10,000, which in 1949 is about 138,744. So we'll say just under $140,000.
That is not chump change.
It's not, but it's also not a lot for a firm that has clients, and
Oh, sure.
it's that's nothing.
Yeah.
But that's going to be his payoff if he's somehow able to follow through with this scheme. Because
Wild.
Jarvis is going to kill himself.
But he wants to make it look like he was murdered so his family
He
can
hears
collect
the
the insurance
silence.
money. He is the silence. He's so
There's not going to be
ridiculous.
any more birthdays. The only solution is that he is going to give him $10,000, which again, is that his $10,000 to give? Kind of, kind of not. I don't know.
Is it
It's a
like
little
in cash
sketchy.
too? It's like 10 grand in
It's
cash
gonna
that he's just
be
going to hand
in
over to him if he can help him facilitate this faked murder scenario?
because if he kills himself, his family won't get the insurance money.
Right.
But if he's murdered, then he will get the insurance money. However, Jarvis isn't thinking too clearly right now
No.
because when you have murder, there is a crime that then
Has to be
occurs.
investigated. And if you have
And
someone so close to you who's
yeah,
holding 10 grand in their hand that you
well,
gave them,
putting his own family through this is
honestly,
insane. Now,
yeah,
I'm very upfront about this, but I am a child of suicide. So my
right.
mother committed suicide when I was just under 3 years old, and I grew up knowing that and having to deal with that on any other
Hmm.
level. I'm 42 and made my peace. I figured out really, frankly, a lot of stuff once I started deconstructing, mental illness and a lot of other stuff too.
Hmm.
Um, Killing oneself is one thing to ask a family to deal with.
Hmm.
Thinking there's someone in the world that you don't know who is responsible for killing your husband and or father and wondering
Ugh,
in life who that person might be is another hell altogether.
Jesus.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, he's not thinking clearly. He is not thinking clearly.
And I am
He's like
not,
one of
and I
those
am
stockbrokers in 29 who just decided to jump out a window, right? Like,
right. And I am not for someone who says that suicide is the coward's way out because I don't actually think it is.
I don't either.
However,
Yeah,
here, what the fuck are you doing,
I
Jarvis?
know. He's
You
been
can't
planning this
deal
for a
you
long
can't
time.
deal with the failure of only having $10,000 to your name, so you're going to kill yourself to just solve everything.
Oh, you know what it reminds me of? White Lotus season 3.
Not familiar.
Oh, there's a whole
Yeah,
storyline where a rich person is facing essentially his undoing and considers murdering his entire family as a result, and then himself, so they don't have
sure,
to live poorly.
sure.
Yikes.
I mean, and again, I'm not again, I don't I feel like suicide is the gift you give yourself, basically. But if you're going to not pay attention to the ripples that has, you have to have hit such a fucking rock bottom where you have to believe that they will be better off.
Yeah,
But to think that your family will be better off thinking you've been murdered is an entirely different punishment than having your family think that they couldn't help you.
right,
That's an entirely different punishment.
right.
And it is so fucked up. It is so fucked up.
And he's been
Um,
working on this plan too. He has it all laid
right.
out for himself.
And to ask your employee that you are extorting into this.
And then it puts the employee in such a
This
terrible
isn't a
position too,
friend.
because he knows that if that person ends up dead and he's not the one at the hand of it, he
Right.
has information that he could give that
Right.
could make or break a family in a way, right?
Absolutely.
It's what the premise here is nutso.
Absolutely nuts. And
Yeah.
what's really funny is that, and again, not having seen Strange Bargain, it's actually really hard to find.
Yeah.
It's not streaming anywhere. And well, at least it wasn't last I looked. Frankly, it's been a minute since I've looked. And it's out of print on DVD.
Yeah.
So it just hasn't been high on my. I did say to myself that I was going to get it before we watched this, but it
Oh,
hasn't happened.
yeah.
Let me see. Actually, that would have been a really
That could
good
be a good in between seasons.
bonus.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so it's non-US format. That doesn't matter. I have a universal. Let me see.
So where to stream? Where to stream?
$32. Not
Yeah, that's a little
impossible.
steep.
It is.
I wonder if
Yeah.
because it was a recycled property here, if it then becomes less accessible, if some sort of it gets shut in a vault somewhere where it's less accessible, so it doesn't impede on the impact that it has in this episode of TV. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing or not.
I think you're putting too much pressure on NBC for having that foresight. I don't know.
Nobody's that organized.
I just don't think it would have necessarily been I think again because it's such an obscure film that probably
Hmm.
would be even more forgotten without this episode.
It's fully like a B movie, right? Like
Not
no,
yeah.
no, no big
Yeah.
stars, no lasting impact other than here.
Yeah. Yeah. I can get it for 15 possibly. Well, let's see.
Victor's on the
That'd
black
actually be
market, the
no, no,
DVD
no,
black
no, no,
market.
no. Oh, but see again, it's an import. It's an import, so they're going to charge me ridiculous for shipping. So that's
Hmm.
why it's so cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd have to. We can explore it. It's hard. It's hard to find.
yeah.
So, and it's like studios that I've never heard of that have distribution rights. So yeah, I think what I was saying with that though is that since I've not seen Strange Bargain, I don't know how much time Jarvis is given because all of
Sure.
the story is told to us really quickly,
Hmm.
and they have to stretch it to at least an hour and 12 minutes
Right.
for the final film.
Hmm.
If Jarvis is treated a little bit more, if he's given more agency, if he's given more character development
Hmm.
through this retelling, kind of a douche. I mean, I don't really know. Not a great
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
And if he was treated as sort of like, that Lionel Barrymore from It's a Wonderful Life, then we could be like, oh, he's a total douche. He's a total asshole.
Right.
Not even a douche. Total,
No,
total villain.
we don't have a real angle on him other than, hey, I want you to help me kill myself.
Right,
That's it.
right. Come to my huge house, shoot
Yeah.
me, or find me dead, fire a gun through the into the wall or what
Yeah.
have you to make it look like I've been shot
Right.
and take the money. And here's this note that's in the envelope that tells
Right.
you that thank you for this. Now what's interesting is he could have gone there, taken the money and done nothing. He could have.
Truly. And
Because he
no one
shows
would
up and
have
Jarvis is
known
dead.
about the money regardless, right?
Right.
Nobody knows about the money in the envelope except the two of them. So in some ways, he suffers because he doesn't commit to the bit the right
Right.
way.
So he gets there. We're still watching actual footage, and it is cool
It is
to
very cool.
see the young versions of
Mhm.
exactly the same faces. It is cool.
It's like today, this would be AI, right?
Please. Oh,
Right.
yeah. At the very least, de-aging. Or hire, you hire a
Mhm.
lookalike. You hire someone who somewhat resembles, or hire the kid. That happens a lot.
Right. Right.
It's, yeah. So he takes the gun. And he remembered he was supposed to fire some shots inside, but he
Yeah.
didn't. This is where he's stupid.
He's stupid.
Well, multiple times. He shoots them through the window.
Like, what?
He
Wait,
shoots them
and tell me why
through
that's a bad thing. Break it down.
because then it show because you don't pay any attention to. I know ballistics probably wasn't at the same level that that it is today,
Yeah.
but if you just randomly shoot through a window and someone's dead, the police and or investigators will figure out if that makes sense where you're standing. If
Yeah.
if the bullets would have actually
Right.
hit their target,
If you have
it creates
a high
it means
functioning
that
police
person
department
then
anyway.
wasn't in the house,
Yeah.
presumably.
Hmm.
So that doesn't make any sense if there's indication of a struggle.
It's incongruous.
It's entirely incongruous. And it
Yeah.
also leads to an issue during his interview with the police
Hmm.
officer
Right.
because he knows too much. Yeah,
Right. It's a very
it's messy.
Jessica Fletcher trick, right? To catch
Hmm.
someone in what they know.
Hmm. Oh, we
Yeah.
have episodes where the guy shoots through the window,
Hmm.
and it's important
Yeah.
because that's an important thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Later on in this episode, someone shoots through a window, don't they? Oh, not through a window, through an open window.
Yeah,
Magnum PI. That episode.
exactly.
The gun handle that
Exactly.
sort of slides in like a mannequin.
And they do kind of waive it a little bit because Jessica points out, well, then why, if you had shot through the window, then that would have actually helped prove your case because you would just be saying that's something a killer wouldn't do. He's
Right.
like, well, yes, but they waved around it because they thought I was
Hmm.
possibly bad for other reasons.
Yeah.
The $10,000 and the blood that he got all on himself.
Careless. Careless.
And then, of course, he goes to Santa Monica. Oh, I guess they are in California. He goes to the pier and he flings it off the pier, or
He
he
goes,
flings it
he walks
underneath the
under
pier
walks under the pier where it's quiet
and
and
throws it into the water.
almost thinks he hears somebody. He almost hears somebody, but no faces. So he throws it into the shallow waters and runs away.
But
And the
because it
gun
was
was
his
never
gun,
recovered. Yeah.
but they had information on Jarvis's gun, so they knew that the bullets matched
Hmm.
and that the autopsy was was probably from a 38. That's the funny thing about ballistics
Hmm.
is you kind of have to know it's the same make of a gun, not necessarily the same gun. Sometimes that takes more effort.
Right. Well, that ballistics question comes up in the episode with Harry McGraw that we just watched. Like, these are identical to the shots from Harry's gun, so which it was, we know,
Mhm.
but I didn't realize it was such a precise science. I mean, I don't know anything about that sort of element of forensics, but the exact gun, really?
From the basics, I think you can tell the type.
Yeah.
Beyond that, then you try. It's the same
Yeah.
thing with blood match. If you say, oh, the
Hmm.
blood is the same blood type, it's a likelihood that it's the same one. But you
Right.
have to do further tests, I believe, to then get to
Totally.
that further conclusion.
Yeah. Hey,
We
if
get
you're out
this.
there and you know for sure, let us know.
Let us know. Yeah,
Educate these bitches.
tell us because we don't have the wealth of the internet in front of us. So
It's
we're
more
not
the
looking.
interest in digging in.
We're just not looking.
I would get bored too fast, please.
Yeah, I would actually. I'm better educated when somebody's speaking to me anyway,
Fair. Me too. Me too. I'd
and
rather
putting it in the
engage.
context.
Hmm.
So we see Harry Morgan as Lieutenant Webb, aka what's his name from Dragnet and from MASH. Not Dragnet. Was he in Dragnet? Yeah, he was Gannon. He
It's
was Gannon.
Dragnet. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He was on MASH, Dragnet. Oh God, he was in so many
He's been in
things.
so many things.
So many things.
And a lot of work doing character actor work in his later life too. He's only
Yeah,
in
well,
one Murder She Wrote. It feels like he should be in more, but only one.
I think partially because he had to be brought back for this. He had mostly slowed down pretty considerably by the
Yeah.
time Murder She Wrote went calling. If you look at the his
Hmm.
IMDb, it gets really brief. He has like
Right.
one thing in 1981. He has one thing in because MASH was still on the air
Yeah.
too. MASH was
Working
for
for
fucking
that Screen
ever.
Actors Guild insurance here.
Yes. Oh God, I hope he got good MASH money. God, you
Me
imagine
too.
doing that show, what, 9 years longer than the
Oh,
actual war?
so yeah.
Uh
180,
we were just
180
talking about Vietnam
episodes.
in the
We
last
were,
episode too.
yeah, we were, yeah.
Yeah, so he had very brief performances, and to see him here is really cool because they do get him back
Yeah.
for his future self.
Hmm.
But Wilson admits that he knew where the bullets were shot because he looks at the
He
wall.
looks at the wall, the poor guy. Is that the only thing that really incriminates him? Obviously, I think they find the envelope of money later too, right? They say,
There is more, yeah, but the look was just about it.
yeah.
Webb hadn't said which wall they were in, but he knew, and he burned the note that Jarvis said, "Hey, thanks for
Ugh.
taking the fall for me
See, I would keep that note forever because
forever."
forever he made a lot of mistakes here. So, I mean, I hate that he went to jail for a murder he didn't commit, but also he made a lot of poor judgment calls in the moment. I
He
would
still would have
never
he still would have faced jail time
for the
for
his
this.
role in insurance fraud and taking
Yeah,
money to create for to yeah. So he did break the law. He
oh
did
yeah,
break the law. See, one of our characters later says, "I'm not going to jail for anybody. I'm of the same mind. I'm not going to jail for anybody either." And this
that's
guy,
right, June
he
Havoc.
makes the mistake. Yeah. We're gonna hear
Get rid
that
of the
when it
cop.
comes up too.
We are because she's fabulous, and
She is so fun.
she's a recast because the actual actress either was not available or
Hmm.
said no, or
Right.
they were like, "Let's get fucking June Havoc," because when you have a chance to get June Havoc, you get June
Honestly,
Havoc.
bring her in.
Now
Oh,
this is
Debbie Zip's here.
very confusing for Murder She
I-
Wrote fans. If you're watching this out of sequence, you may say to yourself, "That's Grady's girlfriend."
Why? And soon, do they ever actually
It's-
marry? They
oh
do,
yeah, they get
right?
married in
Yeah.
Someone Blue. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But here
And
she
she's
is, somebody
pregnant.
else's wife, pregnant.
Yeah.
I love Debbie Zip. Whenever she shows up, I have a smile. She's such a, I don't even know how to describe her. Goofy, uh, she's such a cartoon character.
Yeah. Yeah. She's
She lifts off the
bright
screen.
and yeah. Ah,
Such a distinct voice too. She's the son who became
Grady.
a police officer's wife.
Yes. The son is Art Hindle, aka Rod Wilson, who we have seen in Murder She Wrote before. He was one of
Yeah.
the
One of the
assholes in Electric Cathedral.
he
He
was one of
was
the terrible sons, right? Or
yes, one
terrible
of the
nephews
stepsons.
or
Nephew.
stepsons or whatever. I
He
can't
was
remember
the
the
step nephew. The step no, step grandson.
child, something. One of the greedy
Her
kids.
father, her son was Ernest, or her stepson was Ernest from
Yeah,
Golden
yeah,
Girls,
yep.
and then his son was him.
This bloke.
Yes,
Yeah,
with those piercing blue eyes.
he's very good looking.
He is, and
Look
he's
at that
nicer in this
spare jaw.
episode, so we can
He
objectify him.
he looks kind of like Zac Efron, actually.
Oh yeah, a little bit, yeah,
You guys
especially
see it?
with Zach's new jaw,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
he had some facial reconstruction. Yeah, a
totally.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a 1980s version of Zac Efron.
So he is both an officer and it seems to be somewhat fascinated with the case,
Hmm.
but is also somewhat exasperated and exhausted at having to conjecture about his
He was the
father's
one that
involvement.
was really reticent to invite Jessica in because of the reporters that they've had investigating this or whatnot. I'm
Oh, we have
sorry,
to
I'm
get this
distracted
moment.
by this stupid scene that
We
I
have to get
love so
moment with this
much.
old queen.
I'm a maitre d'.
It will spoil.
Nevertheless, madam, your publisher stipulated you were to be given a basket each day. Please.
But don't you have a charity that could use all this beautiful fruit?
Charity.
Oh dear. That's too much. It's too much.
I mean, I like these little additions of these characters that mean nothing here, right?
It's set dressing. It's very helpful.
It
It's
is.
very helpful.
And unlike the last episode, it keeps this from being too much of a slog, right?
Yes, because this is a total
Yeah.
downer.
This is
Um,
really one of the saddest scenarios we see, right? This old man withering away for spending all this time in prison for a murder he didn't commit.
so Sam Wilson has been convinced to continue, and he's with
Hmm.
his son now and Jessica, and they're going to visit the Jarvis household.
This is a big ass
Oh
house.
dear. It is.
You know what
This is
this
also
reminds
in
me
Burbank.
of? It reminds
Mm.
me of the Peabody house.
Oh,
Doesn't it look
could
like
be
it? I
a
can
bit,
imagine the
yeah.
car that they zoom away, the blonde zooms away in here in this driveway.
This might be the Clue door, actually.
Oh, oh,
It might be with the entrance of the Clue door.
interesting.
I'd have to there's a documentary on Clue where they actually
Hmm.
visit all of the locations, and that might the Max Bush house. I can actually tell you that. Let's find out
Hey,
together.
where is that Clue documentary available? Because I haven't seen it yet, and I've heard it's
It is on
outstanding.
Prime.
Haha. Note to self.
Oh yeah, it is the same house that is used and crossed up.
Oh,
And
which
it
we
is also the
also
same
noted was a
house
gorgeous
used
house.
in the Family Jewels, which will also come up soon.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep, 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 yep. So we meet Richard Bamer, aka
Jarvis's
uh
kid.
Jarvis's kid, all grown up. Now he is also a recast because
Yeah.
he is actually a professional actor.
Hmm.
You may know him as Tony from West Side Story.
Oh yeah.
You may know him as Ben Horn from Twin Peaks, or you may know him from 5 or 6 other Murder She Wrote episodes. He shows up a lot. He shows up a
Yeah.
lot, but this is the first of 6.
He's a complicated character, this guy. It's so hard to read him, but we know he's up to something. We know he's hiding something.
Yeah.
Do you
So
think
we
he do
see
you think he
this. Yeah,
matches the younger version of himself? Do you think they cast well?
he did a pretty decent job. I mean, the
Yeah.
young kid sort of looks like a young Joe DiMaggio, so he's not quite in the same. But
Yeah.
if you look at young Richard Bamer had some work done, so he already doesn't quite look like his younger self.
Fair.
Just a bit, just a bit. And I don't know if that was for
Was it
what do you call
cosmetic
it,
or
cosmetic or due to a
necessary?
certain, yeah.
Yeah. What is he
But
working on
his
here in his house, by the way? This is
he
like
has like
a
this little
scale model of
model.
Hogwarts. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's like the little Renaissance fair, like Bavarian. Like
It's
it's
very cute. And what a choice, right? Yes,
of
I
all.
built scale models of Renaissance festivals and fairs
I think it's
in his
fun
big
when you
old
you
house.
give it you give actors work.
Hmm.
When I say work, for those who are unfamiliar, when our business, when you give
Business. Yeah.
actors things to do while they're speaking, I love when they make choices that are so like, oh, that guy has a personality.
Right.
That's so nice.
Well, I think one of the tenets of really good acting, and someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the things Uta Hagen talks about a lot is do something.
Yes,
And
yes.
maybe
Don't act,
I'm
do it.
I'm paraphrasing,
Don't
but
act,
do
do it.
it. Don't act it, do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
And so when you have characters like this with personality, it makes me kind of like Sydney more because he's otherwise a very cold, unfeeling presence in the episode. But to see him sit down with his paint tubes and paint trees
yeah.
and
It's
fields,
a
it's
really,
it's very cool.
and again, it sort of shows kind of an Arrested Development ever so slightly too, of
Hmm.
that he has like this youth
He's kind
and
of a shut-in.
interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting.
He's
So
turning into an
Jessica,
eccentric.
yes. I would love to. I mean, I've tried to be an eccentric for the last 20 years. One day I will be old enough.
Same.
There's this funny little Zoom moment because they're like, "Don't forget, audience, we're giving you information."
Yeah,
Um, he says his mother is dead,
right.
his mother Edna, and while walking through the hall,
Atrium. Yeah.
the
There's a piece
foyer,
of mail.
and Jessica says, "Mrs. Edna Jarvis, she lives in California," and it zooms real tight.
Yeah.
So not a lot of help from baby Jarvis. So Jessica's now going to Jarvis and Hearn to meet up with Miss Davis.
She's like the great granddaughter or some or granddaughter of Jarvis, something like
She
that.
is, yes. And speaking of Uta Hagen and acting, she is played by Susan Strasberg, son of
Strasberg.
Lee Strasberg,
That's wild.
who is famous acting coach. If you've ever heard of Strasberg.
Hmm. She
Yeah.
switches on a dime here. And Jessica
Jessica,
Jessica reads the filth out of her later too. I love it.
this is one of Jessica's few missteps, I feel.
Yeah.
She misguesses how to speak to this
Hmm.
woman.
Yeah.
She's really good at that, but she
Hmm.
gets in and then steps a little too early.
Yeah.
I mean, we have shit to do. I mean, we got to keep things going, but
We got a lot of
she
flashbacks to watch
oversteps too
here.
quick.
Yeah.
She oversteps too quick, and Miss Davis shuts the fuck up because she doesn't want to talk about the Jarvis death.
Right.
She thought that Jessica was there for a policy. Jessica's like, I don't think I ever said that.
Financial advice or guidance or something like that. I love that she's like, I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about, bitch. Sorry.
Oh well, but it just so happens that your grandfather took over the business, so it sounds like he might have had a vested interest in this man's death.
Right.
Um,
And Dorothy Hearn here, she says, nope, out.
Out. But while Jessica's here, she's like, you know who might have some answers? That secretary who was there when Wilson was speaking with Jarvis. She might have
Thelma.
some information about Wilson's information
Hmm.
because that's the other thing. Part of the motivation of killing Jarvis was to cover up his financial insolvency.
Right.
There's no proof of that financial insolvency.
Mm-mm.
So Wilson can't even say, well, see, he was clearly declining, so that was why I did it. There's no proof. But you know
Everything
who would know?
is, oh, Thelma.
Thelma.
Well, and she talks to this woman. This is where Jessica is a master manipulator, right? She peeks
Yes.
her head into, I guess she's profiling, but an older woman's office, and she says, "Oh, are you Thelma? Oh, I remember her. She was such a lovely girl." And then she gets all the goods she needs to go find Thelma.
Yep. She's like, no, she's not been here for a long time, but I know where she is.
By the way, this older woman, beautifully costumed. This
Yes,
teal
very
structured suit, gorgeous.
former governor of Texas. What was her name? Ann Richards? That's what she gives me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look
Holland
good.
Taylor as Ann Richards.
And
But we
then
meet Thelma, June
Jessica takes
Havoc
her taxi
herself.
cab up to Thelma's place,
Yeah.
who I think is just delicious.
Oh, she's fantastic.
She is the spice
Uh,
of the episode.
yeah. We get her again. June Havoc is in a mostly Jessica-less episode in the
Hmm.
future. She plays an old detective, and she's wonderful in that too. She plays like a Miss
Hmm.
Marple, and sort of a backdoor influence on Jessica, which I think was a really neat way of doing that
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
for
She
sure.
plays like a mystery writer, like a grand dame.
Hmm.
But
Look at
we
how
learn
she
about
holds her
Thelma.
glass, by the way. Look at how she
Oh,
holds her tea.
so
It actually
delicate.
reminds me of the way my grandmother used to hold things. Vascular hands, sort of
Oh my
clutching the
God.
glass, sort of casually,
Look,
loosely. Yeah.
look at her eyeshadow. Oh, it's almost Jessica's shade, but it's ever so slightly more tacky. Like it's sort of like
Baby garage doors.
garage doors.
Yeah. And this
I love.
monochromatic blue denim, sort of like it looks like a gardening look, but she's also going to a party. I'm not sure what she's
Clam
wearing here.
diggers. Yeah, she's like
Yes.
culottes. Yeah,
Yes.
with a turtleneck
With
and
a
turquoise
turtleneck.
jewelry.
Uh-huh. She's a blue lady. We'll say that. So I guess what we find, she's perfectly willing to talk to Jessica and give her all the answers to the questions she's asking, but we know that she's not giving us all the answers to the questions she's
Well,
asking, right?
let's hear just a little.
Yeah.
Jessica is going through her photo album,
Oh my.
which just happened to be right there.
What a lovely home you
Mm.
had. Split level. A
Outside.
kidney-shaped pool. Tell me, what do you make of Jarvis's relationship with his wife?
Iced him.
You don't think Mrs. Jarvis iced him?
Well, she was supposed to be spending the weekend at their beach house, but according to the testimony of her maid, she arrived there well after Mr. Jarvis was dead.
Mrs. Jarvis couldn't have murdered anybody.
You mean she was too nice?
And that's it.
Didn't have the guts.
For now.
She didn't have the guts.
Goodbye, and thank you again.
My pleasure, JB.
Oh, yes. So Jessica once again gets in the door by saying, I'm writing a book.
I mean, what a great way to stoke people's ego, right? Stroke people's
Indeed.
ego.
Well, and
Hey,
she knows
I'm
this woman.
famous.
Oh, she also gives me Lauren Bacall vibes.
Look at this house, by the way, she lives in with this gorgeous outdoor garden. I love it. I would live. This is a retirement home for me.
She picks up the phone and she says this great line. Hang on.
Hello? This is a voice from your past. Yes. How nice to be remembered. There seems to be some new interest in our problem.
Oh,
So good.
exquisite. Also, clock the Psycho-esque music.
Yes.
Love
That
it.
Bernard Herrmann suite. Oh,
hmm
so gorgeous.
Those tingling strings, they're full of tension and foreboding. Just love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was straight up Marion and Sam from
hmm
Psycho right there.
I picture that opening sequence where we go in through the hotel window.
Yes. Yeah.
hmm
Marion and Sam. Oh, I know my
Oh,
musical cues.
me too.
It's such a great line read, and it's so dramatic. It's like one of those like it reminds me of once again Betsy Palmer at the restaurant going,
hmm
"It's me." And boy, have I got bad news for you,
That's
Buster.
it. She doesn't have to say
Ah,
much, right? But it's so packed, it's so loaded. And it
and we
really
don't know who,
makes you
and we don't
wonder,
yet
like,
know who she's talking to.
no, we don't. And we don't know what she's referring to, but we know the moment Jessica's car rolls away, her face shifts and she says,
Yes,
I gotta get to the phone. It's exciting. It makes us
it
wonder
is.
what's going on. And it's not as simple.
Total shift right here.
Yeah.
So Jessica's in her hotel room, resting comfortably.
Looking cozy as can be.
Oh, and suddenly a gloved hand
Through the
on
balcony
a
patio.
yeah, this is not the top, this is not the bottom floor.
How high up is she? How is this possible? Is this what's her name? The trapeze artist? Is she back?
She was a stripper. They say how many. I think it's the third floor, but they'll say in a minute. And it happens to be that the wall has the gunshot in it. How
hmm
interesting. It's a 38.
It's a
It might be the same
38.
gun.
Again. What? Well, and this
And
person
Jessica,
could have
yeah,
shot her very clearly, right?
which Jessica
It was a
says, she
big
knows
miss.
that this is a message.
Yeah.
I do believe I'm making someone nervous.
Hmm.
Uh,
If you were investigating this murder the way she is and this happened to you, would you keep going? You say, okay, let's
you're
keep
already
looking into
making a
this.
lot of assumptions here that I'm the kind of person who would put myself in this position. If I am, then maybe.
You mean you're
If
not
I'm
a
in
nosy
this already.
busybody? I
No,
get
no,
it.
no, I am, but I'm not, I don't work this hard. I just don't work this hard
I don't
usually.
know. It makes me want to sit down and take a
Um,
break. The number of
we
taxi
have
cabs
our,
alone.
I know, I know. We have our one scene wonder for the episode, and
Yeah,
it
we
is none
do.
other than Gloria Stewart, who is Old Rose in Titanic and is a
hmm
recast for Mrs. Jarvis because the original Mrs. Jarvis had passed already.
hmm
we get a really cool. So I say one scene wonder because this is really all she does, but we get a flashback via the film.
Hmm.
But
Oh, I
this
know.
is
And they use
where
Gloria Stewart,
they use Gloria Stewart.
which is such a poor choice.
It is a choice, but I wonder if they had to make that choice because that footage doesn't exist in the original film. Because
But
again,
why
since we
not
haven't.
find another actor?
Oh, I see. Are you saying because it takes
It
you out
because it
because it looks like
because you're like, why
70-year-old Gloria
is
Stewart?
70-year-old Gloria Stewart in this flashback scene? It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I think it's a poor choice. I think when you're doing this other recasting and finding people who look like these younger actors, why not find a younger actor who looks like older Gloria Stewart? It feels like they forgot the day of, like, Gloria, we need you to come in.
You could pass, right? You could
It
still do
doesn't
this,
work.
right?
It doesn't work.
Yeah, she's younger playing older. I will say that.
Yes,
So
true.
she is 60 probably playing 75, 80 years old. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't
It
quite
doesn't
land.
work. For God's sakes, get some tape. Tape back the, you know what I mean? Tape back the brows.
Yeah,
Give me a lift or something. It's
give
like,
me a lift. Yeah, they you know what? They assume that the quickness of it, the size of TV screens in 1988
I guess.
and the black and white would do all the work. They just figured it would
Hmm.
just be it would be enough. It gets there. It gets there. But we get this cool little moment with her where she's
Hmm.
clearly on the verge of dementia, if not
Yeah.
already
I
there.
think I think it's implied that she has suffered some sort of cognitive decline of some kind, whether it's dementia, whether, or I think it's almost implied that it's a trauma response and that it's like psychological damage from the trauma of what we later learned to have passed.
It could be.
Because
Yeah.
they say later that after the husband died, she spent years and years in and out of institutions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they don't really lay it out, but she's definitely suffering in some sort of mental capacity here.
Miss Gloria Stewart will return to Murder, She Wrote, but not in the TV series. She is in one of the films of
Ah,
Murder, She Wrote,
yes.
in The Last Free Man, which also stars Felicia Rashad. And she's obviously much older then, on
Yeah,
the verge of Titanic.
right.
She's actually relatively the same. And again, she's also aged up in Titanic too. So
Yeah,
when she did the press tour and made her appearance at the Oscars, she already looked much younger than Old Rose because Old Rose is meant to be like 101. Like,
very old. Yeah. But finding an actor who's of that age who can be on set for long days and
oh
things like that,
yeah.
you have to, as a necessity,
I
cast
mean, she
someone
still was
who
80. She
can
was that age
withstand.
actually.
Yeah, yeah.
She was actually the age she's supposed to be now,
Right,
basically.
right.
But she still has that softness in her voice, and she's un unmistakable
He
voice.
exists now only in my memories. Yeah.
No, that wasn't quite it, but that yes.
You don't
No,
think that wasn't a spot
no,
on? How
D
dare
minus.
you?
I
How dare
know.
you criticize my feminine voice?
I know. They like roses. All right, let's hear a little
Let's
of
do.
Gloria Stewart.
Hello, Mrs. Jarvis. I'm Jessica Fletcher.
How nice of you to visit me. Do I know you?
No, but I think you know Mrs. Wilson.
Georgia.
Sam's wife. Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson. He worked for my husband. My husband grows roses. Out by the camellias. Did you see them?
Yes, they're beautiful.
Hello, Mother.
Oh,
He's so mad.
You have
he is mad.
visitors.
They like roses.
Oh, do they? Well then, I'll take them and show them the rose garden. And I'll be right back.
He's lost it.
All right?
Alas.
He is boiling, but he's still so good to his mother.
Wilson.
Yeah. He's so
Oh,
good to his
he
mother.
manhandles Jessica out of there. He turns her around, grabs her arm, and walks her out.
He's like, as we were leaving, yeah. Well, he's pissed because obviously Jessica realized that Edna was still alive, found her. It's also very disruptive
It
to his
is.
scenario of his mom being so vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Well, and what we learn throughout the course of the episode is he loves his mother. He will do whatever he needs to do to help his mother.
right.
And protecting her from Jessica is one of those things. And clearly the woman is isn't well.
No, she thinks her
So
husband's still alive, for one
I
thing, and she
know.
thinks she's home. She also thinks she's still at home.
It's
Um,
been 84 years.
and she can still smell the paint.
Mm.
Uh,
Shut up.
it's all, yeah. This woman did not climb 3 stories
No,
and shoot a gun at her.
no. So what Jessica has learned so far that she's not really capable of this tracks.
Of that, yes.
Yes.
Because we've also still been under the assumption that Jarvis killed himself and there hasn't been a murder.
Right. We still don't know.
No, but
Well,
usually by this
and
time,
Jessica
someone
posed,
else has died by now. So
yeah,
usually, if there's not a murder by now and they're trying to solve another crime, someone
right.
dies. No one's died.
No, that is the murder we're solving. Well, and Jessica, I don't know if she said it yet because I've been distracted, but she does say like, well, the possibility that he killed himself or it's murder
Yeah,
from someone else. And so that's sort of what we're getting at here. Who is actually responsible for that
Jarvis, no
gunshot
matter
wound
what, did
if
not kill
Jarvis
himself.
did not kill himself? Right.
Right.
And we don't
Even
really
though
know.
he intended to.
Right. And when our friend Sam showed up, he saw his dead body as if he would have killed himself. So I think
Yes.
Sam's assumption is that yeah, he did kill himself.
Yeah.
So nobody's really in the know here.
It's complicated. It's sort of needlessly complicated, but then again,
Yeah,
they're dealing with the rules that are written. When you
right.
adopt a property, you kind of have to
Exactly.
follow the clues given there.
Hmm.
Um, so the question
Well,
then is, if he didn't kill himself, our suspects include Thelma, his former partner, who
right,
is by proxy our Mrs. Davis from
right.
the
The younger
firm.
woman who turned on a dime with Jessica, who she's
Right.
talking to
Her
again now. Ooh, I would love to hear her call her out this way. Read her.
for filth.
Filth.
Of course, by that time, the authorities will probably have been in touch with her about the new developments.
Come in, Mrs. Fletcher. My 11 o'clock just canceled.
Oh my God, she did that so brilliantly.
Failure. A fraud who's been deified in death. And
She gives me Nancy Pelosi vibes.
my grandmother
Very
broke her arm
that.
after all the work he put into it. And what did it get him? This unending suspicion.
However, Nancy
Perhaps
never
I'm
would have had a suit
paranoid.
fitted like
I
that.
mean, since their argument
Look
at
at this
this mansion has never been really
doily
over.
quality to it.
It could have been 1,000 things. They always argued about business. My great childhood memories. Grandfather and Mr. Jarvis arguing about business.
Mrs. Davis, you still haven't said why you felt it necessary to misrepresent the takeover.
Why are you doing this?
Because an innocent man who spent 30 years in prison has a right to know why. Now, I understand you not wanting any trouble or a lawsuit.
They wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
Unless your grandfather did kill Jarvis, in which case the ownership of this firm could be in serious question.
You don't know the first thing about my grandfather. How dare you come waltzing in here and make accusations against him like this? Get out! Get out of my office.
If you'll forgive me, Mrs. Davis, it appears to me that you suspect your grandfather more than anyone.
Mic drop. And she leaves this woman discombobulated. I love it. Well, and
And
we
I
didn't
think for the
mention to
last
get
time,
in the
right?
office for the last time. We don't see her
Yeah.
anymore. But to get in the office, she's talking to her secretary, and she casually takes her pen and puts the speaker on so that inside the office she can hear Jessica talking about the police coming to investigate. And that's how she gets right in that office. She is so fucking cool. Fletcher for the win.
Let's your further win. Oh, and because her hotel room was shot into, the manager is saying, "Here, I'll give you a new room." And Jessica's like, "No, it's fine. No worries."
She
He's
doesn't
trying
care.
so hard to suck up.
I know. Now he wants to send her mangoes
He does. And
to go
she's
with the other
hard to
rotting
suck up
fruit.
to. Jessica just doesn't suck up too well.
No. She
Doesn't
like
like
doesn't
being
live in
shined
that
on.
world. Although
What a waste.
she will step into a press circle any chance she gets.
That's true. True. She takes her opportunities.
Ooh, Thelma says, "Come
We're
over."
good. Come over. Oh no, first we meet our dragnet.
Oh, the police detective. He calls
Yes.
her and says, "Come over alone."
And we
Another
are
taxi.
here. And before she can even ring the bell, the door opens on its own, which is a pretty neat trick. And we
This
find
is
out that
this is a smart house.
it is because our retired lieutenant is a wheelchair user. And I don't think, I don't know actually if the actor required a wheelchair, but this is an interesting
Yeah.
choice on their part. Let me
Well, and it
see.
immediately disarms her, right? Like the moment she turns around and sees him in the wheelchair approaching her, because it's quite ominous before that, right? We don't know if she's in danger or not, but as soon as she sees him, she smiles. Hi, kind of. Thanks for inviting me over. Let's have
How's it
some snacks.
going?
Yeah. So what does he tell
Uh,
her?
it does look like this is a character choice, which,
Hmm.
folks, we can feel a lot of ways about actors using wheelchairs when they don't need them. But this was an important choice for Harry because it indicates that he's of a certain age.
Right. Well, and again, we talk about, I mean, I guess in a different way, about the variety of people. So I'm here for the representation.
Yeah, I think it's different when it's younger. I think it is different when younger people do it and when it is
Do you think he's
either
in the
exploitative or incongruous.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he's in the wheelchair specifically so we could have that moment and make sense of it where the door opens on its own and that's the only reason this choice is made? So we can get that spooky moment?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Because otherwise it's a very distinct choice that requires consideration when filming that we wouldn't necessarily make otherwise. I don't know. They don't make any reference to it either, which I don't know that they need to, but
Yeah, it's complicated. I know enough disability advocates who, depending on depiction, adjust their
yeah,
thoughts on
yeah,
how it is.
right.
I gotta say also like elderly people, you may not physically need, I mean, and ambulatory wheelchair users exist
Right.
too. People who
Yeah,
only need wheelchairs on occasion,
right.
or on a spectrum, disability is a spectrum. If it is more comfortable for an actor to use it because standing around would be less than great, that's a
Hmm.
disability.
Yeah,
I think that counts. I think that counts. I think
absolutely.
that counts. Oh, so we get this little flashback with our not June Havoc. What
Yes.
is the actress's name? Let's
Let's
shout her out a little
see.
bit.
Catherine Emery. No, no, no.
Mm,
This is Mrs. Jarvis.
no,
No,
this
we're
is
looking at Thelma.
Cynthia Layton is her name, I
Hmm.
think.
No, she was secretary.
No,
I
what
don't
does it
know.
say? Maybe she's not credited. Well, she's got to
I
be in
don't
the
think.
original movie. Let me
Yeah,
see. Let's listen to her while we find out.
sure.
Believe he or she would benefit, but could be wrong.
That was my theory about the Tootsie.
Tootsie?
Jarvis' secretary, Thelma Vanti.
Miss Vante, do you know if Mr. Jarvis was insured?
Yes, I think he was.
You think he was? Weren't you his private secretary?
Yes. Yes, he was insured.
What company?
The Standard Life Insurance Company.
I see, and for how much?
I don't know.
How would you know what company, but not how much?
I figured she was playing bedsheet bingo with the boss.
Hmm.
Assuming that she was the beneficiary.
On the nose.
How interesting.
But Jarvis checked out a family.
So this is another
funeral and
situation, I think, of them taking the existing film and
Hmm.
adjusting it. She has a nothing part in the original film. She's not even credited. This is Betty
Really?
Underwood. Yes, she is Betty
Oh,
Underwood, and she's just known as Miss Vante. She's not even known as Thelma.
it's too bad because she's spicy in that scene. I like her.
She's good. She's good. She has fewer than 10 major credits, and not even
Mm.
major. I wouldn't even say major. She plays roles like model, Leon's girlfriend,
I mean, she's a looker.
showgirl,
She's very beautiful. Maybe that's why she's
son's
called a
fiance.
Tootsie, right?
She was a starlet with RKO. So I mean, that probably was a, oh, and she was a Rockette. So she is either it didn't quite work out for her, not everyone's a
Happens.
star, and she didn't pass until 2018. but she had long retired. Her last acting credit was 1951.
Wow. She moved on to something
So
bigger and better for herself. Good for her.
yeah,
Good for her.
yeah. But that's an interesting note. Again, not having seen the original film, it's going to be interesting when we do because what a what an interesting development to be like, you know who we don't address a lot? The secretary. Let's put her in this because then we
Yeah.
can play with that any way we want to. She's
And bring in
just there
someone
to
like June
be,
Havoc to like really meet it up.
yeah.
Well, and when you have a little sort of cameo role like that that's uncredited, but the actor shows up and gives you a little flavor, why
Hmm.
not?
Yeah.
Why not expand upon it
Lots
with
to work
someone who
with.
can do something with it like June Havoc? I love that. Actually makes me like her
Lots
even
to work
more.
with. Lots to work with. Yeah, it was so funny. It was like, where is she? I can't find her. I can't find her. Oh, she's all the way at the bottom,
Wow.
uncredited on IMDb because that probably was her only scene.
Hmm.
Well,
So
that and the
we've
scene when he goes into
established,
the office.
yeah. So what we've established is that she's hiding details and she should have known these things that she's not reporting on. So she has
Now she's a
known
suspect.
more. Yeah.
But we're back at June Havoc's house.
Yeah. And she's in this ugly pink robe. Jeez. Drowning in
Yes. And she's got her grandkids over.
it. Get rid of the cop and we'll talk. Oh, this is that moment we gotta hear.
Keep it down in there, you little friend.
Thelma, I've just come from a long chat with Lieutenant Webb. And very honestly, he believes that you knew more about Jarvis's insurance policy than you told at the time.
Think you were trying to cover up your motive for murder.
You get rid of the cop, and we'll talk. I am not going to jail. Not for anybody.
It's so cool.
I'm not talking until we lose the cop.
I'm also Sam Wilson's son.
That's supposed to make me feel better?
Thelma, you have nothing to worry about if you'll just tell us the truth. The statute of limitations on blackmail has passed.
What's that mean? That I can't be tried for something I may have done 30 years ago?
Not for blackmail. There is no statute of limitations for murder.
Whoa! I didn't kill anybody.
But you did blackmail the Jarvises.
You're so stealth. Somebody tell you
No,
something?
but I imagine as a secretary you didn't get paid very much money, and after what you told me about your husband, I have to wonder how you could have afforded that house.
The way I look at it, lady, you got a choice. Either you tell us who you blackmailed here, off the record, or I take you in and book you for murder.
Suddenly not so confident, is she?
Jarvis did mention suicide once or twice. I just put two and two together and came up with a profit, that's all.
Then you did know about his change in the insurance policy.
Of course I knew. And when I read your father's story in the newspapers, I figured he was telling the truth.
Well, then why didn't you tell the truth?
I was Jarvis's private secretary. There was no job for me when he was dead. And the cops, they certainly weren't going to make it worth my while.
So you let my father go to jail for 30 years, even though you knew he was innocent.
That's right.
Your father knew
That's
he
right.
was taking a risk when he grabbed that $10,000. He got cash. The Jarvises got cash. I got zip.
Till somebody paid you to keep quiet. It was Mrs. Jarvis, wasn't it? So they could collect the insurance money.
Oh, not Mrs. Jarvis. Sydney.
She neither confirms nor denies.
Well,
Didn't he tell you
was in
that?
no condition to make payments from a rest home.
Well, after a while, Sidney decided that he didn't want to pay anymore.
So I suppose he told you that if you went to the authorities that you would go to jail for blackmail.
After your last visit, I called Sidney to try to get some more fees out of him. And he sang the same tune all over again. After crying, poorhouse didn't work, that is. Can you believe the nerve of that guy?
Jessica's face.
So good. So good.
Can we talk about the cadence that June Havoc uses when she speaks?
So good.
It's like
I love her face is painted such like so clown. Her skin is so white. Her
Uh-huh.
lids, her lip,
So blue,
oh,
those red ass lips. Yeah.
so
Superb.
it's still it's still not solved though.
Yeah,
So
we're
we
still going around in circles here. This is an episode that doesn't have a lot of details, actually. There's a lot of talk about things, but not a lot of action here.
mm, we do eventually get this sort of gather the suspects type scene.
Hmm.
It's really what it is, but they're not the suspects. It's really just an accusation scene
Yeah.
where they get to Sydney's house and stand around the Wilsons, mother, father, and son, and Jessica to say,
Yeah.
Sydney Wilson, what do you know?
Yeah.
Why do you know it?
This is a really, really compelling scene.
I love the portraits of his parents too,
Hmm.
because clearly the only footage they had of his father was him behind a desk from that movie. And they're like, let's paint him behind his
Paint
desk
it.
with that,
Paint it.
with the envelope, no less, in his
Oh,
hand.
Jesus. Is that a bloody handkerchief in his pocket too?
Oh,
Good grief.
Lord.
Nail on the head. So Sydney is confessing to killing his father.
He is. He says that he saw, and he was also there when Wilson threw the gun into the pier
Right. Followed him
water,
there.
and then he went in there and picked it up. He was afraid that his fingerprints were going to be on it.
Hmm.
So he would have been that young youth, that young Joe DiMaggio, who
Yeah.
we saw briefly.
I wonder in the Strange Bargain film who that was, or if there was actually I think there must have been someone there, right? Was it the same character, the
The
son,
son?
or was it somebody else?
I
Ooh,
don't. Well, because that's the thing is we don't know the ending of Strange Bargain if,
I
in
know.
fact, Sam Wilson is exonerated or not. I don't think he is meant to be, but I don't know
It does make me one like I
because this
wasn't curious about
episode,
seeing Strange Bargain until now.
yeah, this movie. I mean, this episode doesn't take Strange Bargain existing as a film into account. It's just the
No,
flashbacks, so
right.
it doesn't even need to pay attention to the plot. It could
They
have used
just cut
anything
it
and
up
repurposed
and
it.
put it in the way they wanted to.
There is a Roddy Wilson who is the kid, so he's not even named Sydney in the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Oh no, there he is. There he is. No, oh, I see. He has three kids, so they simplify things.
Oh, they just make it one
Uh,
kid, one
they
child.
make it Sydney Jarvis.
Hmm.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm so fucked up. Sorry. There are two Wilson kids and there's one Jarvis.
Wilson
Raymond
is
Rowe.
Sam's. Right.
Right.
Got it.
He plays. Sorry, too many characters that are not even in this episode for me
We're
to
looking
pay
at two cast
attention
lists now.
to.
Yeah,
They simplify things by removing by moving the Wilson daughter
right,
for this episode is what they do.
right. I think we can kind of reveal what's actually happened here.
Yeah.
It was it was actually his mother. Or does he confess? Does he tell us? I think he does. Maybe we should hear it.
Rest home could have killed her husband intentionally.
Father thought he planned it all so well. Mother and I were both going to spend the weekend at the beach house. Father is going to stay in town, work. We had just left when Mother realized that she had forgotten a book in the library. We drove to the back entrance.
Ugh.
Mother went in to get the book. He told her to go away, that there wasn't any more money. All that was left was the insurance.
Your mother must have realized what he was planning.
She tried to grab the gun from him, but in the struggle, she came running out to the car to get me. It was an accident, but no one would believe that, not with the insurance.
You sent her to the beach house so that at least you'd have an alibi.
Our maid was already there. She could vouch for her arrival. I thought that I could fabricate a later time of death. I went into the library. You saw me.
With his wingtips.
Saw you get the gun and the money. And then it became clear.
You knew. You knew Pop was innocent. You let him take the rap.
I thought it would be best for everybody The police would have thought it was a burglary, and you would have got the money, Sam, just like Father planned. I tried to protect you.
By having your mother put pressure on the DA to close the case quickly.
We used to be very influential.
But it backfired when Thelma figured out what was going on and blackmailed you.
At that point, I had to choose between Sam and Mother. You understand, don't you, Sam?
How can he? You've wasted 30 years of his life. 30 years of an innocent man's life and the lives of his family. You knew what you were doing. And you sent him to prison, just as if you were the judge and the jury. How could you expect him to forgive you?
It's over.
Georgia. It's over.
And the days dwindle down. Ah, it's sad. It's truly
It's
there's no
really
real
sad.
satisfaction.
And Sydney just sits there. What do you gather from his sort of expression in that moment? He just
I
tightens his
mean,
tie, sits in his chair while everyone else leaves the room.
there's an indignation that he did the
Yeah,
right thing, but there's also a guilt, probably, and a for what was all this for kind of situation,
yeah.
probably. I
Well,
mean,
and
he has a, yeah,
it doesn't answer some of the questions like, yes, we talked about it a little bit. Sam went to jail for 30 years for murder, but Sam still took money and participated in insurance fraud. So Sam would have gone to jail
not
if
for
he'd have
30
been
years.
exposed that way. Not for 30
Not
years,
for 30
no.
years.
But he still would have been an ex-con in a way, but maybe he
Yeah.
wouldn't be waiting to die at home at this point. But it's complicated. It's not easy. It's not like he's totally exonerated because just like Thelma said, and she's the one who really knows what's going on, Thelma, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
He screwed up. He had the opportunity to make 10 grand and he screwed up. And I think Sam would have been better off either sticking to the plan that Jarvis had laid out or contesting it immediately and telling somebody about it.
It's an untenable situation. You can't, I mean, considering already 1949 being so outside the wheelhouse of any of our experience,
True.
them being in an entirely different, like he had two kids, a wife. He was already, I mean, he's already kind of a wimp. Like he's not even like
Yeah.
he's not that guy. He's just not a
No.
go-getter, nor is he particularly he's just not that guy. And
Right.
Jarvis put him in an untenable situation,
Right.
feeling himself in a, untenable situation.
Right. Well, now I have a question about Thelma because she
Yeah,
really held the keys, right? She knew everything that was happening and she seemed to have no
sort of.
problem.
She didn't know the specifics.
She didn't know that it was a
She thought
struggle
he
and an
killed himself.
accident, right? She thought he
She
killed
thought it.
himself, and so
Yeah,
in order for her to not expose the Jarvises to the insurance fraud scheme, she blackmailed Sydney. But she said that she called Sydney again to try to get more money out of
that
him
was the "I'm a
now.
voice from your past."
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. Having had that happen, wouldn't she then be criminally charged for attempted blackmail now?
if he tried, but that would require
Opening up all the details
opening
and
everything and then discovery.
yeah, yeah,
That's why a lot of people settle is because of discovery.
yeah, yeah.
That's why we're like, oh, why don't they sue them if they're lying? Because that
Hmm.
opens up discovery. Yeah.
Exactly.
I believe, and what we're led to believe by the ending of everything is that nothing will happen. The Wilsons
because
will go
Sam
home and
says,
live
let
out
it
their
be.
lives. Yeah.
He just wanted the
And
assurance of the people he loved knowing that he didn't commit murder, right?
right.
Even he's already served his time, so there's nothing you can do about that. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about their resignation to that was just life and now
About
let's have the rest of it left?
Yeah, and essentially Sydney getting away with holding the secret that a man who did not commit murder spent 30 years in prison for murder.
It is a somewhat, I mean, in an odd kind of way, it's sort of an enlightened perspective. It's sort of like, you know what? Everyone's suffering enough. Let's not add to more people's suffering. If I'm the
Mm,
one who suffered the most, which again, his wife and his children probably suffered too, but if he says if I was the wronged party and I can prevent more pain by just letting it go, knowing that
yeah.
everything is how it is. I mean,
I mean, it's certainly
it's
poetic.
yeah, yeah. Well, and then the question is like, well, what is justice really? Justice has already sort of been failed to everyone already. The world has already failed them. Capitalism has already failed them. The firm went under.
Yeah,
Choices were already made. Systems were already in place to already make none of us end up happy. So let's
right.
just take the last bit we have. They're clearly, I mean, I got to say, for the Wilsons to be suggesting that they have really suffered, they're still living pretty exquisitely.
And they're okay
They're doing just fine,
at this point.
frankly. They
Her
have
job is like a restaurant manager. They have a happy family, it looks like, a
like
home.
they're not living in a one bedroom
No,
in Skid Row,
no.
which frankly would I'd feel worse if they
That would
did,
make the
right?
story more interesting for sure. How did this woman whose husband went to jail for 30 years support her family
Yeah.
and end up where she is looking very put together, not wanting for anything? I mean, yeah, yeah. I have to say, I don't know that I have the same reaction. I think it's very high-minded to say what you were saying.
Well,
However,
I'm just observing
my
what I think his belief is.
Sure. My blood boils at the end of this. And I don't know, maybe it's all the planets and Aries right now, but I was so mad at Sydney and Thelma. It's such a wild choice to let someone be charged with murder when you know they didn't and let
Mm,
them rot in prison for it.
mm.
There is there is no moral ground to stand on there. These people, neither of them have made the right choice.
Oh no, yeah,
Because it was the choice of sending someone to prison for murder in quotes,
yeah.
or we're going to make sure we get that insurance money so that we can live after dad's dead.
Oh right, that's how they have. That's right. That's how they still have
Right?
a great
And
deal of
because without the
yeah.
insurance there, that wouldn't have been an issue, right? You would have said, "Oh, he was going to kill himself. We had a struggle. The gun went off. Mom's now damaged from this. She's traumatized from this situation. She's in and out of institutions. I am Sydney. I become a shut-in, and I have no family of my own, and I'm living with this weird secret." It
Mm.
was There's no reason for them not to help exonerate Sam unless it's the money.
They made
They
selfish choices. Yeah,
Sydney made the choice to protect his mother, one, and get the insurance money. The
yeah.
wife wouldn't have gone to jail for that. She
I
wouldn't
don't
have gone
know.
to jail.
Probably not. Yeah, they just would.
Especially,
The only thing with no money was no money.
well, and if that had all come out, Sam would have been there to say, "Yeah, he asked me to help him kill himself, and I couldn't do it," right?
Right, but the second that he's killed, it removes the suicide aspect, and I don't think that the insurance policy
No, what I'm saying
deals
is
in
what
almost. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The insurance policy being present
yeah.
is the greedy, insidious thing that infects all of these people.
Hmm.
Because if the insurance thing had not been a part of the factored into this equation, Sam could have helped exonerate the wife, saying that,
Hmm.
yeah, I think he intended to kill himself. And her story, I saw him trying to kill himself, and I tried to stop him, and the gun went off. Everybody
But
would have been
Sam,
okay.
Sam makes the decision to allow this family to also be traumatized by them thinking something happened that didn't.
Right.
Sam also makes a decision at the time that he's all of us are allowed to regret it later, but makes the decision to take $10,000 to be a party to this. The
Yeah.
only person with clean hands here is his wife.
Is
Georgia is
Sam's
the
wife.
only person with
I
clean
agree.
hands.
I agree. Ugh,
And
but the price that Sam pays for his choice
it's not, I
is
mean,
not
yeah,
equitable for the choices the
no,
others have made, right? Like
no,
everybody else, you know who wins the most? Fucking Thelma.
no. Well, to a degree, yeah.
She gets a
Yeah,
check that helps her buy a beautiful home. And even when those checks stop coming because she's threatened with charges of blackmail, she's still okay.
right. And she could have fought that too, because
She could
again,
have.
she doesn't, he's taking advantage of the fact that she wouldn't necessarily consider discovery.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well, and
Thelma
that's
kind of is the real villain here. Not that, I mean, it's more complicated than that.
it is more
But
complicated than that, but
she's the opportunist here. She's the one that
she
says,
is the
"What's in it for
opportunist.
me? What's in it
Well,
for me?"
that is the question between the only like what oh hang on. There's the expression, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. So
There you
that is
go.
a Edmund Burke quote. There is something to be said about passive villainy
Hmm.
and said to be about complicity and whether or not someone who is complicit sees the evil being done and then attempts to profit off of it
Yeah.
is just as bad or worse if we can possibly equate ratio of villainy than the person actively pulling the trigger.
Well, and
There's
passive
a lot to
villainy,
be said.
yeah.
It's a
Passive
lot to be
villainy is
said.
pervasive, and because it often operates within the law. Not necessarily in this case because Thelma is blackmailing, but passive villainy can often
But it's
operate
the
in the system.
circumstances. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
circumstances. She's by no means, I mean, she saw an opportunity
Yeah.
and we don't know enough about Thelma outside of the fact that this put her in a different tax bracket.
Hmm.
So we're led to believe, and I'm sure being a woman in 1949 kind of sucked.
Well, didn't she say her husband left her and everything? And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so
She's been through a couple of
she had a
husbands.
hard deal of cards.
So there's already a lot. There's already a lot there. And that's one of the things about the plot line here is that it attempts to create happy endings
Yeah.
or resolutions for these microcosms that exist in real life where there is no happy ending because there's always tomorrow. There's always the day after that. And there is a certain poetic quality about Sam
Hmm.
Wilson coming to the conclusion of let's just have what we have left. I mean, he can get hit by a bus tomorrow. There's
Right.
no certainty to it.
Yeah.
All he knows is that having this fester inside of him has sucked.
Well, and he's elderly too, so it's not like he's going to try to be getting a job, right? And having a record pulled or anything like that. It doesn't really change his life if I don't know. I guess I put myself in that place and I would want the world to fucking know, no, I didn't do this. And that he is okay accepting that most of the world believes he's a murderer. I just have a hard time wrapping my head around it. I do appreciate the poeticism of it. I do appreciate sort of the high-minded wisdom of it. But, and maybe when I'm that age, maybe when I'm in my mid 70s, I would think differently about it.
I don't
But
even think he's right. I don't even think it's necessarily a matter of he's doing the right thing. The right thing doesn't matter
no,
anymore.
no. I mean, what's right and wrong in this circumstance? Like you said, nobody's winning, everybody's suffering.
Everything has fallen
Yeah,
apart. And
except
we don't
Thelma.
even know. Well, she's not. I mean, she's living in a beach house, but she's doesn't seem happy. She's not like I don't know.
I mean, she
I
did
don't
yell
know
at
what
her
her every
grandkids,
day
right?
is.
We do see
She's
her yelling at her
still, yeah,
grandkids.
she's still, and this is still wrapped up in her. Like this is
Yeah.
still part of her everyday life as
Hmm.
well. And that's the complication of humanity too. We don't know anything else about what she's going through,
Yeah,
nor
true.
should it necessarily justify anything.
Yeah.
Her automatically being the bad guy or a bad guy for this is arguable, but it
Mm.
also is just as arguable as that it's
Frankly,
wasn't on
Jarvis
her
is the villain,
list.
right? Jarvis is the villain for putting all of these people through this.
Yeah, 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 kind of. I mean, again, I'm getting more and more in my taking away of things of what is truly a villain or what is truly the
Right.
bad guy or what have you.
And of course, we're being
I
a little reductive to say who's the
We're
villain.
glib,
I get
yeah,
it.
of
Yeah.
course. But and again, like the complications and his dignity and white fragility, white rich man fragility, white
Hmm.
straight rich man fragility that he's dealing with. And also what Wilson's been in was in jail for 30 years. He's been out of jail. He's been out of prison for at least 10. Mathematically, he has to have been out of prison for almost 10 years.
Yeah, I'm curious how long he's been out of prison. Certainly between 5 to 10 years.
If the situation happened in 1949, if in theory he
Hmm.
went to prison in 1950, if we're led to believe that the
Yeah,
plot is that,
30 years.
yeah,
So like
that's 79.
7 or 8 years
That's
out. Yeah.
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 So he spent the last 8 years potentially sitting at home withering.
Being a sad
Um,
sack couch potato.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also part of the problem too is that our prison system is such where there's a lot to be said about exoneration and people going to prison for things that they shouldn't,
Right.
as well as the deals people make to get out of prison. If he had shown any remorse and confessed, because that's what they want you to admit it, then he possibly could have gotten parole. He possibly could have gotten it out sooner.
Right. So in a way, his own
Or,
sort of stubbornness and
yeah.
and not willing
I
to
mean, we
play
hear
the
every once in a
game, even
while
though,
about
yeah.
Alfred pleas, which don't come up a lot, but they come up when it's convenient, which is when you say, I'm pleading guilty because I believe that there is enough
Right.
evidence to convict me,
Right. But I still am not
but I'm not
admitting
confessing.
to this crime. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's still a guilty plea.
Yeah.
So,
Infuriating.
yeah, the whole thing. I mean, coming down to lesser charges, like the whole thing is all theater. It's all theater
Hmm.
already.
Hmm.
So when
Or
innocent
arbitrary.
people, yeah, yeah. And if this man had been a person of color, if this person had been on another side of the tracks, all things would have been different then too. And it
Very
would have
much
also,
so.
frankly, been a more interesting story. The fact that it can happen to affluent white people too. And also, I mean, we have a different viewpoint because we're looking at these folks and we're like through a specific lens as well. So it's all, I don't know. I
This
don't
episode
know.
makes me really sad.
It's a sad episode.
I know that it's one of the more beloved episodes of the series, but I actually
Is it?
don't love. Yeah, it's like one of the higher ratings.
It does not in my I mean, I know it's a novelty episode because it's,
Yeah,
again,
it's
one of
very
those,
novelty.
and maybe that's one of the reasons that it is beloved because you can pinpoint it, like it's distinctive. And I do kind of love a downer to a certain degree because I find that to be more interesting than a happy ending.
Well, it feels
I
like
mean,
a real
even
ending, right? A
yeah,
realistic, grounded in. I mean, what you've said already. This whole system is broken, and nobody is winning here.
nobody's winning.
Even Thelma, who I think comes out the most on top, is still not.
Miss Davis is doing fine. She's still running the firm. Miss Nancy
She's
Pelosi over here is still
happy as a
doing just
clam.
fine.
Well, isn't that a sort of a poignant observation? Is the woman who's the daughter or granddaughter of the hostile takeover firm is doing just fine,
Just fine.
and everybody else sucks to be them. Oh, it's so depressing. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so depressing.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and it's an interesting choice for a penultimate too, because it's not the
Hmm.
finale. It feels like it could have been. Our finale
Yeah.
is actually Murder She Spoke, which is the Blind Man audiobook
Hmm.
record company episode, which is such a weird
Yes.
combination of words.
A lot of things happening in
Um,
that studio for
a
sure.
lot of things happening. Charlie
Uh-huh.
Daniels is in it. What the hell is going on? And that one, ironically, is a little bit more straightforward because there's a
Yeah.
clear bastard
Yeah. It's
that
kind of a
everyone. It's
return to form.
another one
Yeah.
who wouldn't have.
It,
It's
we,
still with a
we,
novelty
we,
aspect. Uh,
I mean, I think what they're doing is they're leaving their big swings for the middle of the season, and then they're ending with something that's palatable and familiar and what we want as a standard good episode of Murder, She Wrote, which we'll talk about next time.
yeah, and we're going to stick with for a while too, because I think
Hmm.
the next set that begins season 4 aren't quite as ambitious.
Yeah, a little bit more true to
Um,
form. There's some cool
yeah.
stuff that comes up in the season for sure,
Oh, it's
but
great.
the
Season
season of big
four.
swings has come to an end.
Yeah.
This was our last big
Yeah.
swing, so
Yeah. And frankly, I think next season is more fun,
I think so too.
actually.
I think so too. It's more focused, I think, which lets them be more fun.
Experimental, all the
Mhm.
same, though. So, final thoughts of Days Dwindling Down?
Put June Havoc in everything.
Everything.
That's it. That's my takeaway.
Uh,
Yeah, how about you?
I like that you consider her the true villain of the piece, but you still really like her in it. Like you're,
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's not the mustache twirling villain, right? But it certainly is yummy.
it's very effective. Yeah. Well, I think it's good. I understand why this is my husband doesn't like this episode. Yes, the
Yeah.
flashback element is frustrating to him. I've talked about that before. I think, and I agree with him on. I think he also believes that the it being unsatisfying can be unsatisfying.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it being unsatisfying because
Yeah.
I kind of appreciate that
Sure.
element to it.
I think you sort of made mention of this. The gimmick itself is makes the episode interesting and fun to watch because it is
Mhm.
fun to see. It's more of like a back end production fascination here. Like, how did they take this existing movie and create a totally new storyline
Right.
for it with a familiar character and premise like Murder, She Wrote gives us. I think that's interesting and that makes the episode fun to watch. But I actually found myself as we were talking about it, like I didn't really have much to say about what was actually going on other than the details we talked about.
Yeah.
Other than, oh, let's talk about Strange Bargain
The
a little bit
ethics.
more.
Well, yeah,
Right.
well, because it's an ethical dilemma episode.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people making bad choices. It's a
Yeah.
lot of people
Bad
making bad
choices
choices.
and suffering consequences.
And that frankly doesn't happen a lot in a murder she wrote.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just one person making bad choices.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's two. This
Yeah.
one, everyone's really making bad choices.
Yeah.
And it is and that I don't even know this episode absolutely could happen without the flashbacks.
Oh
It
yeah.
absolutely could
Oh yeah. But
in two
again,
ways.
like,
It could
go
have
ahead.
completely not done the grabs from the film. Could have absolutely not done like pieces from the real film and
Hmm.
just done a plot that was similar or inspired by. Or it could have done all of that in the beginning because all that information could have been in the first
Right.
set before
Right.
Jessica gets involved if they wanted
Hmm.
to.
Sure.
It chooses this method.
Yeah. Well, and what they do is they sort of break up the exposition across the episode rather than front loading it. But as I observed while we were having our conversation now, I didn't have I wasn't wasn't super interested in the discussions they were having on screen. I don't know. There's oddly not as much to talk about as I expected there to be to talk about here.
You say that an hour and a half later.
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
And we can talk.
We can. Well, that's part of it too, is that the swing is the gimmick, and the gimmick is a little heavy. The
Yeah.
gimmick is a little heavier than the
Yeah.
substance.
It
So,
takes up more space than, say, a gimmick that lets the story and the writing breathe a little better, I guess.
right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I think that's it.
I think we've done it.
I think we've done it. Jessica has kind of saved the day. Although, well, she did get him to confess. Without his confession, there would be no summation. He has to say it for
He
there to
has to
even
say
be,
it. Yeah.
yeah. There's no proof.
He could have denied it, and they're not charging him, so nothing has really changed except that Sam feels a little better.
Sam feels a little better, and
Right.
technically, a police officer is ignoring evidence.
Oh, okay, this episode makes me mad.
There we go.
I'm
That should be
mad.
one of our
I'm
episodes.
mad.
What episode of Merger what makes you more? We should make that one of our categories for the postmortem.
That's a great idea.
Most maddening
That
episode, or
is
most maddening conclusion.
adding it to the list right
Adding it to the
now.
list, everybody. See that in 2 weeks. All right. Well,
Just about
the days
time
have
then.
dwindled. I think it's now sundown, and I thank you for listening to two old queens talk about old broads who
Old
may or may
broads
not have shot their husbands. Yeah.
stole the words out of my mouth.
Ah. And this gave us four old broads. What are you talking about?
We got so
Ah.
many. The goods are here.
And yet, and yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Victor Devonne,
I'm petrified.
and this
And
was
this was
Tonight
Tonight on
on
Murder, She
Murder.
Wrote. That was my second try at a Gloria impression.
They like roses. You need to be a little softer. You know what it is? Is you're going
They like
more
roses.
nasal. There we go, softer.
They like
Yes.
roses. It's been
Yes.
84 years.
You're still a little witchy. You're just going witchy.
I'm leaning into my Cloris Leachman.
Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson.
You worked for my
Sam
husband.
Wilson. He worked for
My husband grows
He
roses
worked for my
out by the
husband.
camellias.
grows roses. Out by the camellias?
Bitch, your husband is dead.
Oh, see, she should have tossed it into the ocean at the end. See?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. All
A
right, let's call
rose
it a
for
day.
a rose.
Done with this. Well, I didn't even think about that. He grows roses. Her name is Rose.
Yes,
Jesus.
right? It's all coming back.
No,